Tonight we're going to be discussing self-defense for women. Is it bullshit? I'm your host, Justin, and welcome to a Wicked Parley. You know, one of the things that commonly happens when it comes to typical Hollywood TV show drama is you see the 100-pound, maybe 110-pound woman somehow flip over and dominate a 190, 200-pound man. And the thing about this is that we've been told that this is normal. This is the way things are supposed to be. But I take a critical eye and have a hard time suspending belief when I see this kind of shit. Now, I love the belief that like a little small Asian woman or, maybe like some, European 5'2" fitness junkie has the ability to Black Widow flip her way and to put some dude in some sort of headlock with her thighs and bring him to the ground. But I live in the real world, and I think that one of the main issues is that self-defense in today's literature is just bullshit. Now, one of the main things that I think is highlighted by this has to do with the fact that women are constantly told that they're under attack from men all the time. Women can't go anywhere without carrying a knife, pepper spray, or in some cases a gun. Now, it's true that women have been assaulted before, and that if you're really scared, I guess carrying something to defend yourself with isn't a terrible idea, if you know how to use it. And that's where the problem comes into play. Because a lot of people aren't actually trained in how to use stuff. You'd think pepper spray is a pretty simple thing. But you shake it up maybe, you point in the direction, you spray, and that's it. Well, there's a little bit more nuance to that. Pepper spray, first of all, doesn't necessarily need to be shaken up, and if it does, then you got yourself some shit pepper spray. And also, you need to be able to aim that pepper spray. You need to be able to know about how far it shoots. Because you don't want to be like, I'm running away and I'm looking back behind my pursuer and they're like 5-10 feet away, and you spray and you're like, why didn't it hit them? It's because it was too far. Also, for pepper spray to work, it's got to get in their eyes. Which means you got to aim at their eyes. And if they're wearing something like sunglasses or something in their way, pepper spray is going to be less effective. And so that's where these karate, crazy self-defense moves that happen, that these instructors tell women, they're like, yeah, absolutely, if you're getting pursued, you're going to be able to drop kick this guy. It's going to totally work. Well, from our previous discussion with trans women, we know that that's probably not the case. We know that, like, if you're a guy and you get hit in the face by a woman, even if she's wearing stilettos, the chances of that guy getting hurt so bad that he's not going to be able to pursue her is probably unrealistic and probably something that just happens in Hollywood. There are a lot of issues associated with this, but I'm going to go over some of the basic self-defense ideas surrounding this. But the main thing I want you guys to remember is this. If you're getting attacked, if you're being pursued, the absolute best thing for you to do, if you are a woman out there or anybody, is just run. Don't try to attack the person. Don't think you're going to be a superhero. You're not a Power Ranger. You're not a karate master. You're none of these superheroes you see all the time. Thank you, Marvel. You're just a person, and people get hurt. People are slow. Go to the gym. Get on a treadmill. Go run, but don't try to attack these people. This isn't their first time they've attacked anybody. They probably are used to attacking people. Are you used to being attacked? I'd hope not. Now, I want to kind of address the elephant in the room, all right? The elephant in the room is this. Well, does a guy have to worry about the same things as a woman? When it comes to self-defense? I mean, is it really that big of a deal? I would say this. If you're in the middle of a fight, or you can't get out, you can't run away, and you're a guy, you can strip off all your clothes and start trying to fight them. And I'll just say this right now. Most guys, they don't want to fight a naked guy. You don't want to punch a guy in the dick. I mean, that's a possibility. See it flapping around? You don't want that. So, yeah, there's a big difference. Women can't do that. Clearly, that's the issue. Right? Anyways, women, here's what you're going to do. If you find yourself in that situation and you can't run away, there are a couple things that I would suggest. The first is that find a way to send some articles of your stuff around. So that way someone can find them. The last thing you want is someone to have captured you and there be no trace that you were ever there. Because there might be other clues that they left behind that would help an investigator track them down, which ultimately find you. So if you have like a little thing of like nail polish or something that's small, most women carry a pretty decent sized purse. I'm fairly confident there are things in there you could discard that could be identified as yours. This would be a pretty smart idea, especially if you're running away. Secondly, try to use your phone to take a picture of your pursuer, if possible, and find a way to text it to somebody. This is a great fast way of being able to identify who your assailant is, and for somebody in your node to let the police know that there's something wrong with you. Because the longer it takes for the police to find you, the less likely that you're going to be, frankly, alive. So don't listen to this crazy bullshit where you can outmuscle somebody. You need to outthink them. And the best way to outthink them is to have some form of preparation. Preparation that doesn't require crazy karate kicks and some sort of idea of I'm better or stronger and that's going to do it in a physical confrontation. Ideology gets thrown out the window and those sorts of things. And don't let anyone fool you into thinking that's not the case. We've talked about what you can do, but what are some things that are decent things to consider. I think the main thing that we need to now discuss is, now that you've been captured, what do you do? First things first, do not, and I mean do not, comply with anything they do. Most people are going to do what they're going to do no matter what. So you complying with it, making it easier on them, is only going to hasten your demise more often than not. The next thing that I would say when it comes to something like this is that you should be trying to look for every avenue possible to escape. Do not allow yourself to fall victim to circumstance. Find anything to use to escape. Not as a weapon, don't try to confront them, just try to get away. Overpowering someone who's already in a commanding position is not typically ideal, so don't try to do that. Don't be a superhero, don't think that you're going to be special. Don't think this is going to be the one time you escape, like through punching these guys out. It's like that's not going to work. So one of the things that is best used when it comes to these kinds of things is simple, unexpected things, like toothbrushes, nail files. All of these things can be used in a way to create a situation that could lead to an escape. Consider your surroundings. If you're ever considering, okay, hey, I have no idea what I'm going to do here, I would recommend going into an escape room. Escape room is going to be a puzzle game that many cities have. Many people offer and have these experiences. It's a great way to see exactly what you're like in a situation where you are enclosed, incarcerated, caged up in some way. Because if you play these kinds of games, you're more likely, if you ever found yourself in a situation like that, to actually be able to find a way out. Now, I know a lot of these games have weird codes and things like that to solve, and that's kind of ridiculous. But there are some that require you to use a string and a series of other tools to be able to get access to keys. These are the kinds of things that you can kind of MacGyver unanswered. I would strongly suggest that these are the kinds of things that lead to potentially escaping any of those kinds of situations, and going through something like that might help better prepare you in an eventuality where something like that played out. That being said, I hope no one ever gets captured. And I strongly say that when it comes to self-defense, period, a lot of the literature surrounding it is pretty much bullshit. It's all trying to tell people, hey, you can do this. You can say this. You can beat this person down. But it completely ignores the biological advantages that their pursuers have. And it very rarely discusses what happens when there are multiple people trying to pursue you. I mean, more often than not, if you're going to get grabbed, the person who's doing the grabbing is not alone. So what do you do? If you can't run, what do you do? That's my main takeaway when it comes to all this stuff, is don't listen to this crazy bullshit. Create plans for yourself. If you go out, check in with friends. Have someone know where you're at. Nothing wrong with sharing this information. It protects you. And at the end of the day, if you don't have anyone like that at all, then at least at your residence or in some form or on a social media post, indicate where you went, what time you went, and what time you're likely to come back. That way when anyone comes across this information, they'll know what your plan was. In today's day and age with Instagram and Twitter and everything else, I would have a real hard time saying that that's something that no one can do. I mean, I don't even like those things, and even I can use them. And for the people who know me, they know that's saying something. I'd like to thank you all for watching tonight's episode. I'd like to say that for all those people out there who took self-defense courses, awesome. For those of you who found this particular episode helpful, please leave a like, share it with your friends. And if you disagree or you do agree, then leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your response. I hope all you guys have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. And don't forget, if you're ever in trouble, someone pursues you, get the fuck out of there.